Today is my birthday. I turned 20 today, and I wanted to show you something that I did. Let's check it out. Yeah, these 4 videos. Don't they look a bit odd? Why is there so many players? Why is there 5 of them? Why do they go for 6 minutes 52 seconds? So I haven't come up with a name for this yet, but basically I am in the green team. There will be a team of CPUs in the blue team, and then a level 9 CPU Pac-Man on the red team. The characters don't really matter. Like me, I'm playing Stevie because it's my goddamn birthday. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Screw you all, Smash. The Pac-Man, just because I love Pac-Man so much, and I gave them the Amogus skin. As for the CPU characters, I actually put them on random and I rolled Kirby and Yoshi, so that's who we went with. Basically, the goal of this was to defeat the blue team and then defeat the Pac-Man in a 1v1. But the Pac-Man had to survive until the end. If either I died or if the Pac-Man died and the blue team was still alive, the challenge, or if I lost the 1v1 against the Pac, the challenge was lost. So essentially, the goal is to defeat the blue team. While the Pac-Man, keeping the Pac-Man alive, you want the Pac-Man to survive until the end. If the Pac-Man dies before the blue team, I lose the challenge. If I lose the 1v1 against the Pac-Man, I lose the challenge. I only win if I keep the Pac-Man alive long enough to defeat the entire blue team, and then defeat the Pac-Man in a 1v1. And as I kept going, I would add another random CPU that I would just keep as that character. Second level, I rolled a Samus the first time, and that's just what I rolled with. Then it came Link, then came DK. Alright, so let me just get rid of this. So let me explain something. The rules for the challenge that I gave myself changed a lot as we kept going, because it was just getting harder and harder to stick to the original rules. For the first time, I actually tried my best to keep the Pac-Man in 3 stocks, so that the 1v1 was like as hard for me as possible. But obviously that wasn't really viable. It's what I discovered after a few rounds of gameplay. It was possible, I'm sure. I'm sure, like, I could have... There's a universe where I, like, on the last level, I defeat everybody without losing a single stock. It's possible. It can happen. It's just, like, incredibly difficult. So instead, I settled with the Pac-Man having 2 stocks at the end. And I didn't really care about the percentage, though I did want to keep it under 60, is what I believe that I did. But as you can see me, at the start of this challenge, I was just kind of mashing on everybody. I would just camp. Honestly, looking back now after beating the last level, I'm thinking, why am I mashing so much? I took so much damage that was unnecessary if I just camped. But also, the Pac-Man had to be kept alive, and I was trying to, like, protect him, almost like a truce doubles team. But I gotta tell you, losing stocks to dumb stuff in the later levels when more CPUs start getting added gets annoying. That was where most of my frustration was coming from. So why did I do this challenge? I was, like, sitting in the toilet once, yesterday, a couple of days ago, and I was thinking, what if I did a 8-player Smash where I have to beat a bunch of CPUs, but there's one of them that I want to keep till last, as like a little challenge. And so it was. That's how this started. Originally I was going to do an 8-player Pac-Man, but I figured that would get kind of old really fast. So to add more variety, and also because I want to play Steve, I decided to make it this. This stage wasn't random. I did pick Luigi's Mansion because it was big enough that it wasn't just like hope for the best and just press buttons. Like, there was at least a bit of decision making. There was enough space for people to move around, but also it wasn't as big like Great Cave Offensive, where it was going to take like 15 minutes per round. Because I believe Great Cave Offensive would have been much easier, but I also didn't really want to do that. I wanted to make it challenging for myself. Something that just not everybody could do, or not something that everyone has the energy and time to put into trying to beat. So here we are, we've got them on their last stock, interestingly, and this actually takes the longest. Like, the character's last stock, especially when there's like 2 of them remaining, 2 or 3, it takes a while, because then that's when I actually start being careful, and usually I'm on my last stock at like 130+%, so I have to be extremely careful. But in this first level, I'll get to more about the nitty-gritty of the rest of the challenge as we get to it. there goes the Kirby, and now it's a 1v1. And we do have 2 stocks, not quite low percent, but it'll have to do. Like, this was after 6, 5, no, not 6, what am I talking about? This was like 3, this was around my 3rd attempt, I think. This first level and the second one, oh, I messed up, weren't really that difficult. I think this was my 3rd attempt. Yeah, the level 1 and 2 weren't too difficult. It was when the Link level and the DK level were when it got like excruciating, and to the point where at the end I had to make it easier for myself because I didn't think it was good for me to get so angry at a game. I was getting so upset, and I never get angry at this game, or really any game really. However, this is just something else. It was an emotional and physical investment. My thumb was in so much pain. And when we get to the last level, I want you to not say anything, but I want you to think and try and guess how long this challenge took me to beat in total. Right, let's take a look at the next one. Alright, so going into the 3rd game, I wasn't too thrilled to see a Samus on my screen, because Kirby doesn't have projectiles, but Yoshi does. And the egg throws it wasn't too big of a problem in the first level, but it becomes a bigger issue as we go along. And Samus just being an entirely projectile best, meaning that I had to actually start implementing blocks into my camping, because Samus could just shoot random shit at me and I had to actually do something about it. Sometimes I could shield, but the Kirby was really annoying in terms that he would just run up, grab, run off, do a lot of things that I had to adapt to. In fact, at the beginning of the challenge, you might see me here, I don't know if... Because I'm only showing successful attempts, I'm not showing fails. You don't see me getting hit by stupid Kirby things like run up dash attack or jump side B, because there's just so much going on that although I still felt like I should have seen it coming and reacted to it in time, like there it is. You see Kirby do that. I got hit by that so many times in my run, and it takes a toll on your frustration towards this challenge, because I was like, every time I lost a stock really too quickly to my for my standards, I'd get upset. Every time I got hit by something stupid, I got upset. But also, something that it won't be super apparent here, in fact I'll talk about it later, but it's team combos. These CPUs aren't brainless. They do team combos that are insane. But in my successful runs, I didn't get hit by any of them because, you know, I just die. Like, I just die with those team combos. But there's me running up to a bomb, and is looking at this here. We're going pretty well, but the Pac-Man's kind of not doing too hot right now. It's just barely hanging on in terms, compared to me at least. 2 stocks is like fine, but I don't know. Because at this point in the challenge, I was still putting a lot of emphasis into the Pac-Man being at a decent health for the 1v1 at the end. But I also wanted to make sure that I was surviving, because look at me, 153%. You'll see me surviving to these percents a lot in this run, in these runs, because it's just crucial. If you die like before 150, like the stock kind of went to waste, which is what's scary and what forces me to camp even further. And there's a bit of a team combo right there, but it didn't look too intentional. In fact, I could actually be convinced that the Samus was just mashing, but there's other times where they calculate these intricate shit that would take me or like a team of 3 of my friends like days to not only come up with, but also execute properly and consistently. There's me getting rid of the Samus, and we're back to the Yoshi and the Kirby. And if I had to say, at least in level 3, the most annoying character to deal with in this run wasn't Samus just yet. Samus was just kind of there, but there was some attempts that I made where he was a bigger problem. In this one, it was Kirby. Kirby is honestly a really big problem, because with Steve's recovery, the Kirby CPU will always try to gimp it, pretty much. If it can. It'll, especially, which is a problem when I'm living past 150 and I'm getting thrown off ledge, barely surviving, touching the blast zone with an air dodge. And then there's Kirby, like, jumping up into the air, naring me out of existence, or up-airing me. Any, like, Kirby move kills at that position. Like, any character move, really, but Kirby especially, because they kill earlier. Sometimes I've died to Kirby back air just because I had just been launched off the stage at like 70 or something like that, something ridiculous. And I say ridiculous because even though we see people that dying at 70, not like ridiculously uncommonly, but there's the Kirby at 130. Oh, and then there's the 1v1, one stock. It's pretty fair. But you see I'm playing a bit panicky, just because at this point my heart was beating. But you see now I'm starting to calm down. I'm seeing that it's just a level 9 CPU. I'm not going to die at it. Pac-Man's not going to kill me at 50. And yet, he's at 97. 57, not quite. There's the hydrant. Yeah, and the anvil will take it. That was level 2, the 3-player blue team. So now, let's go to the start of the pain. That was the Link round. Alright, so here we go. This round was painful. I spent a total... actually, no. This one was in one sitting, I believe. Not all of them. The last level, I didn't beat it in one sitting. I need to emphasize how frustrating and time-consuming this was. Every attempt, I had to just play it out till the end unless I died in, like, 10 seconds. Which does start happening once there's 4 players on the blue team. And... now we've got Link here, and there I am. I almost died to a Link F smash only 40 seconds in. And although Kirby has lost the stock, there was a lot of resets. So many. Just me, not rage quitting, but like pausing and quitting the game so I don't spend any more emotional energy on that attempt that I assumed was very likely going to fail. And now you see the team edge guards. I just have to run away. I'm already at 130, it hasn't even been a minute. Parry the egg roll. I try to challenge that Kirby down B, almost just die for it, but teching was imperative here. Like, if I hadn't tech like that, if I hadn't tech that either, I would have died. There's, I get hit by the Yoshi down B, even though I get Kirby with the anvil. The other characters are just, oh, Iceman. The other characters are barely, like, over 100, but still in 3 stocks. And the Pac-Man you see is really struggling now. Like, this is getting really hard, and a lot of these runs I restarted because the Pac-Man died instead of me dying. There goes one of the stocks. But in this one, thankfully, he managed to survive till the end, and I was starting to wonder at this point if future levels were even gonna be possible. It's not just because of me, because of the Pac-Man stocks and how quickly he was dying. But, Link. Link is a huge problem. I was already kind of not happy with the Samus random, because Samus was just throwing projectiles, and I was having to use blocks a lot of the time. But Link was even worse. He took that to like the next level, because he had Boomerang, he had Arrow, which doesn't knock me far back, but makes me flinch, stops me from mining or crafting, sometimes catches me in the minecart or while comboing somebody else. Like, it's not a threat on its own, but because in the context of a 6-player game, it's like getting hit by Link's arrow is bad. It's not great, because it sets you up for a team combo. There's me trying to not hit the Pac-Man, and at this point, the Pac-Man, I wasn't too fussed about how much health he had, what percentage, how many stocks. I just wanted him to survive till the end, because you can't be so restrictive at this point in the challenge. This took me 2 hours straight, at least. It might have been more, but I don't want to like oversell it. But I did sit at my computer for 2 hours, quitting and barely making it to the end, and then losing in the 1v1, the Pac-Man dying and me having to restart. It was rough. It was very rough. But this was my successful attempt at this, so no pressure. But look, you can already see me at 80%, and most of the characters aren't even on their last stock. Like, this is not looking very good. I was just kind of panicking, just air dodging, and this was where I realized that mashing doesn't really do the trick. I have to actually, like, have a strategy, I have to make decisions, I have to react to things. I can't just run at someone and dash attack or run minecart. That's just not how it works, because CPUs, they don't care about how many players there are on the stage. They can react to everything, and they will jump out of the way, they will spot dodge, they will shield, and they will coordinate team combos. And in this point, it was, like, awful. I'd get, like, hit by Yoshi down it, and then Kirby would be, like, at the top of at the roof of the stage, and just up smash for what looks like no reason, but I fall perfectly into his up smash, and then I hit the blast zone. It's really incredible, but also incredibly frustrating. I should have died there, but I thankfully make it past everything. And there goes Yoshi, which is good. Yoshi, was a big problem in this one as well. Really, the one character that wasn't too hard to deal with was Samus. Apart from getting hit by Samus back air at the ledge and dying for it at 80, then he didn't pose too much of a threat. But again, he's just another body to be there. I also barely survived here. Pac-Man's still on 2 stocks, and Link's on 28%. Like, this was lucky. I almost died like 6 times in this specific attempt, which is why I'm so happy that I made it, because it's just that much more glorious. There goes the Link. Wait, did someone spike the Link? The Link was at very low percent. So what I'm doing here is just trying to get the Pac-Man and the Samus to duke it out. I did make a rule that I can't really touch the Pac-Man intentionally. I can't intentionally go and target him to like make the 1v1 easier for me later on. I have to leave him alone until there's the last, he's the last one remaining. So that lower end of the stage, I can't jump high enough. There's no space for me to fit 2 blocks in there. So I have to just deal with the 1 block. But the 1 block was doing the trick for the Samus, but the Link and the Kirby could still get through it. Like, the Kirby would just jump side B over the block. Sometimes I wouldn't see it coming. Sometimes I'd be too busy with fucking other shit and going on. And there I am, 1v1, 207. Anything will kill me pretty much here. So I was so stressed. I thought I was dead there when I did that up smash. And I'm trying to just, I tech that, thankfully. Put the blocks there. Up smash. Prevent him from making it to that lower ground. I was trying to like enclose myself in as space as possible. As small as possible, where I would force the Pac-Man to get down, but I'd position myself perfectly to punish any attempt of him doing that. But, and there, I should have died there, but thankfully, and he whiffs that up smash. I think that would have killed me. And there we go, he air dodges, and I take this level at 227%. I got lucky in so many different aspects. Like, I don't believe I should have done, that this should have been a win. But this 2-hour struggle was a cakewalk when comparing it to this last challenge. There's so much that there were so many points where I wanted to quit when I did this level. Because I rolled Palu, but I didn't really like Palu, so I just put DK because I realized all these characters are in Smash 64, so I was like, huh, let's keep that going, just because I feel like it. Originally, get rid of Byleth. Imagine that Byleth wasn't here. In fact, I'll play it as I talk so that, you know, I can get all of it out. I do think this song is very fitting for this, but essentially, I started this challenge by, because you see there's a lot of changes, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. Why is there an amiibo? Why is there a Byleth? What is happening? So, after I settled with the DK, I also changed the Pac-Man to an amiibo because, number one, it would help me with dealing with the characters more, so it would make that aspect a lot easier. However, as a payoff, it would make the 1v1, like, incredibly difficult, because this Pac-Man would survive usually with at least 2 stocks by the time that everyone else was dead, when I'd be on 1 stock, 170, and an amiibo with spirits, by the way, attack spirits with knockback and shit. I don't think the spirit is knockback particularly, but it is a huge problem. Like, I made it to the 1v1 in this level without the Byleth. Get rid of the Byleth. This is still before I added him to the mix. I made it twice or thrice to the final stage, and I'd just lose because although I'd get close, I think my closest run I got the Pac-Man to like 80 on his last stock, but I was at like 250, and I just died to like an F tilt or a back air, and it was really annoying, really frustrating. Like, it was frustrating that I would come all that way, do all of that work, and then just lose to a Pac-Man F tilt just because I was at 200% because he had spirits. But so that's how I dealt with the CPU lack of survival problem. But I did find that it was just too much. Although I know it's possible because I made it to the final stage, I just needed to play more carefully because, you know, you can beat an amiibo, it's just hard. Much harder than a CPU. Then I added the Byleth to make it, like, actually more enjoyable. I have to, like, open up here. This level took me 7 hours total, not in one sitting. 7 hours of me sitting here, pressing buttons, my thumb being in so much pain, and just getting frustrated, quitting because I kept dying at 20 off of a team combo, or like the DK just frame trapping me over there, but with up tilting me and me missing techs in the lower floor. It was too much. I thought I wasn't enjoying it anymore, but and I was playing so well, in my opinion. I was like, now I'm actually making decisions, although I did die there, but that's another reason I put the Byleth in here, not just to make things easier and maybe distract the CPUs, because I found that they were kind of targeting me a little bit. Although the Pac-Man would be just jumping around, the CPUs would all just come towards me. I think it's just a programming thing where they just go for the human player, but I'm not entirely sure. I might need to do some research about that. But as you see here, I haven't been mentioning it because I've been talking about other things. The Byleth has killed me twice. I lost 1 stock to the blue team, 1 stock to Byleth down smash, and 1 stock to Byleth dash attack. But now this is the hard part, because it's still, there's 2 of us, yes, but he's still an amiibo on 67 on 2 stocks. I didn't think we were going to do this, actually, while I was doing this. I was optimistic, but I didn't believe in that it was going to happen. So I was just playing so carefully, as you can tell. I'm too scared to really move too much, and it shows here. I'm like barely doing anything. I'm just kind of hitting him towards the Byleth, hoping that he deals with it better. And there he takes it with a fully charged neutral B. And that was the most glorious thing about this, which is you're going to see in a second. But so the 7 hours it took me to beat this level, plus the 2 hours it took me to beat the previous one, that's already 9 hours in this challenge, plus the hour and a half that it took me to do the other things. This was 10 hours plus of me sitting at my computer doing this. And then here we go. I'm so happy that this is how it ended, but I have officially done this. I might come back to it in the future, because I want to see if I can do it without the Byleth, and if I can even do a 6-player blue team. But this is just glorious. I'm so happy, and it's a really good birthday present for me. So yeah, I gotta go off though, because I gotta do some different things, but have a good day.